make sure you share it out on everything, all right?
We welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, brought to you by our friends at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use the box at sign up for 10 points. And here we go.
Welcome, everybody. It's a new NBA season here, and we got a back with your boy, Paulie Scoops. What's up, Paulie? I want to introduce everybody to our new face for this year. You know, we bursted the bubble, and we were able to get our boy Meads, Anthony Emilio. He stepped in a few times and hosted the show. We did a wonderful job, so now we're bringing him on full time. So what's up to the people, Ant?
What's up, peoples? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me, boys. Celtics.
Oh yeah, good to be back. New NBA season.
Absolutely, should be a fun season, fun show. We got a lot of interesting topics to bring up. The whole new. Hopefully, we get a real non-bubble season. That should be good.
It's the plan.
Right back at it
with no fans. Is it still going to be considered a real season?
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how they find it out. Was last year not a real season? We had a bubble, but you want to put an asterisk next to that?
He's got 4.
Oh boy, here we go.
Who has 4?
He's got 4.
I'm talking about Lakers specifically. I don't like jump on. I don't jump on LeBron James.
It's no asterisk. You won a championship. Like I said last year, I think it was harder to win this championship. That's harder.
The thing. That's the thing. It's been a little bit divided in NBA circles and like by the players about like, was the bubble easier or was it harder? Guys like Dame Lillard came out and said the bubble was way easier because they were able to focus, concentrate, no outside distractions.
Yep.
So we'll see what's going on with that. So I don't think there's that deserves an asterisk, but I'm excited to get to this new season. A lot of free agent moves, a lot of trades, a lot of all kinds of stuff going back and forth. What do you guys, as far as like, what's your biggest offensive offseason trade and move that you're excited to see?
To be honest, I think the Lakers did a hell of a job coming back from a championship, acquiring Schroeder and stealing Harrell from the Clippers. That's going to be a hell of a starting lineup. They did coming right off a championship, coming right out the gates. They're ahead of schedule right off the bat.
Yeah, they signed 2 of the top 3 guys for the 6th man of the year, both now on their bench. 2 more veterans. I kind of agree with you. I think the Lakers had one of the best off seasons, which is why in every poll that's coming out, I know they're returning champ, but LeBron hasn't always been getting the number 1 team going into the season. This year you look at everything and it's just like Lakers are there. Lakers are the best team. LeBron's number 1 back in the league. Everybody's all on the LeBron train again. Yet also going into like you said, with just guys coming in. I love what the Rockets did.
Paul, let me stop you real quick before you went to the Lakers. You both mentioned the Lakers real quick, and you both mentioned the moves. But what you didn't mention, I think, is going to be a huge move Marc Gasol, man. Marc Gasol brings that extra passing. He brings that body. He's going to be able to play great with them guys. And like, I don't think we could talk Lakers offseason moves without mentioning Marc Gasol. I think it's a low-key signing. It's great. But you were supposed to say
is Marc Gasol is he in like a Dwight Howard-esque role for the Lakers? Or is he out there?
Listen, I think the Lakers are going to get quality minutes. And this is something we're going to talk. We can mention a little bit later in the show and get more in depth. But I think the Lakers are definitely one of those teams that are going to be looking at as a veteran-run team that's going to be taking a lot of games off in a shortened season. The NBA is going to be very relaxed on the rest, load management kind of thing. So when you're looking at it, I think Marc Gasol is going to be, when you got to project these teams' playoff times, and Gasol is going to fit right in there. And I think I think that's going to be a big addition.
Yeah, like I said, going in, I like the Rockets bringing in John Wall, Boogie. I'm looking at that team with James Harden. Obviously, there's a whole nother debacle of what's.
That looks like me in the gym.
Our boy James Harden.
Like
I heard he's getting traded to the Denver McNuggets.
Yeah, that's wherever he goes. I think they just need to cut ties with that. Like I said, we're going to get into that specifically, but right now, as that team with James Harden there, the Rockets are right back as another contender.
Yeah, I like what the Rockets are doing, and the news that Shams just broke a little bit ago. That's pretty big news that the Sixers are now a little bit more open to put Ben Simmons available for Harden. It's very interesting to see what trade package is. I'm a Sixers fan. You're a Sixers fan. You're a Sixers fan. I don't want to see that deal be done.
Absolutely not.
Everybody cries about Ben not shooting the ball, which is going to come in time. But what is Philadelphia going to do when Harden goes 3 for 25 one day? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like a complete iso ball. Like, I think they better be careful what they want.
It's not even that, Tony. I feel like it'd be counterproductive. What the Sixers did in the offseason was bring in all these shooters, so we don't have to rely on Simmons to shoot the ball. Right. You know what I mean? So it's and then why would you? So you got to bring in Harden to take all the shots. It'd be counterproductive. I don't want to see it. I want to see this work. I think this will work. I want to see how it goes for a year.
Yeah,
I just don't want to see this happen.
We were stuck with Brett Brown controlling this thing. Let's see what happens with Doc Rivers and give it some time to grow. So I think as Philly fans, often we're very impatient. I think be a little patient. Yeah. Don't look too far into the damn preseason because that's all it is. And let's get this work. But with that being said, I think that what Morey's trying to do is position themselves to try to acquire Harden, but without giving up Simmons or Embiid. And I think that's
if you could do that.
But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's just
you might not.
That's just not
pick the first round again,
unless you get a third team. Unless you get a third team involved, and I don't think anyone's going to get involved in this.
Right.
Yeah. When you're looking at it, you have to be very selective. You can't sell out the entire team just to acquire Harden. So it's definitely a good one.
Yeah. We got major news flash. I agree with Jeremy.
You know what?
In my opinion, Embiid should be traded and not Simmons, and that would be a way I would consider doing the Harden trade. I think Ben has just so much more to offer than a center in today's game. And I get it, Embiid's a top 7-8 player in the league, but
SI reported he's number 10 right now in that list. Yeah, he was 10. He was 10. Ben was 18.
Ben did not make the list. Yes.
Yeah.
You got to give this a shot. We have to give Doc a shot a year. We got to see what we got. We haven't run an offense in how many years? We need an identity. We're going to find an identity this year. So,
what other NBA moves did you like? We've seen a lot of movement. Every NBA, it seems like so much movement. You got Wall and Boogie and Wood and Houston. Woods under the set.
Chris Paul, Jake
3P.
Crowder, Suns.
I like the Oubre to Golden State to
Well,
the Clay injury, which sucks.
That was a shame too.
But they're intriguing. They're going to be an intriguing team this year. I still think they got a nice little squad.
He's going to see what kind of improvement they got, because you know what, DeAndre Ayton is going to flourish with CP3. I mean, that guy. Listen,
that too.
If he doesn't get suspended again, I mean, he's going to be one of the best centers in the league. DeAndre Ayton seems to develop, and people often don't mention him when you talk about the number one picks. He was the number one pick for a reason. The dude could, I mean, if you look at the guys who was picked ahead of, I mean, obviously, I think they probably would rather have Luka right now just because of everything that he brings. But Ayton, he's still a phenomenal talent. So I think, people are really sleeping on that Suns team, and CP3 is going to bring the best out of him. He's going to let Devin Booker thrive, and Jay Crowder. It seems like the dude's been on every team in the NBA. I mean, it's like
dude, he's a scrapper. He'll find his way on the team. Anybody's going to take him.
He's going to play tough defense. He's going to shoot the three. Another guy who we haven't even talked about is one of my favorite players since he was a Sixers, Drew Holiday. Man, Drew Holiday to the Bucks. I think. Our boy Gian has signed a huge contract, which, not sure how people feel about that, but, he definitely is, he definitely isn't a, somebody you just kind of overlook. I mean, Milwaukee's trying to get to the next hump, and I think Harden is definitely. I mean, Harden. I'm reading Chris's comment here. He's got
it's all good.
Mixed up on Delilah. Listen, anybody who knows about if Delilah's is closed, I don't even know if Delilah's is a top 3 strip club in Philly.
Cheerleaders is open.
Club Risque,
Sanctuary. Shout out live.
What's the BYOB place? Near the Auto Mall or wherever it is. That's
Sanctuary in Vineland.
Sanctuary.
BYOB.
No, the place in Philly.
Risque.
Nah, it might not be open anymore, but it was a few years ago. But listen, that place was a lot of fun. I don't know, but really, does Philadelphia have good enough strip clubs for James Harden?
No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. But no, listen, man. When you're looking at some of these off-season moves, I mean, it's going to be make or break. I think Holiday. What else do you guys like?
I like the Heat bringing back the exact same team.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, the Heat bringing the same team. You also have our boy Gordon Hayward down and going to Charlotte. I mean, that's he got paid. We'll see if he's back.
He's hurt. Broke his finger. Broken finger.
I know. Well, here's another thing though. How about Westbrook? I mean, we're talking about all these trades and Westbrook and Harden. So they got rid of our. So what do you guys think about Westbrook? I mean,
I think Washington makes out on that deal. I think Westbrook and Beal are going to play pretty well.
I'm gonna pull up
one of the better backcourts in the league.
I'm gonna pull up these stats now, guys. I don't know if you can see. Oh, let me remove this banner here real quick. Right, this is Russell Westbrook's true shooting percentage over last season. Right, it's the worst in the NBA, the absolute worst in the NBA about true shooting.
Okay.
Now, if you see that, man, that's not good. You literally you can't trade for the worst shooter in the NBA. You're talking about 17%, 3%. I mean, that's bad numbers. I just don't think that. Listen, Westbrook was fun to watch for a long time. He just doesn't play a winning brand of basketball.
Yeah, it's a ugly.
Neither does Raw
session there.
What's that, Bob?
So that's an ugly 3-point shooting percentage there.
Well, and listen, unless it's around the rim, I mean, 42% inside that area isn't great either. I mean, it's like I said, it's
him driving to the basket. I mean, you pull up that game.
That's his game.
It's just blank. Simmons probably has about 19 you can count on there.
Yeah, the thing is, though, Westbrook is a guy who depends solely on athleticism, right? Why is LeBron so great? because he has so many skills, and he doesn't. When he was younger, it was all athleticism, but now he's transforming his skills. Kobe was the same way. Jordan was the same way. The older they get, they change their games to be more effective. You know what I'm saying? Westbrook is not that guy. Westbrook is not a facilitator. He's just an athlete playing basketball, and he's putting up great numbers. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think his game's going to translate as he gets older. You don't want to be the guy. You don't want to be the team holding the Russell Westbrook contract on his last big deal, because it's going to be a death sentence. He's going to get old, and he's going to get old quick, because you see he can't shoot. Yeah. Any other moves you guys like that happened?
I mean,
Adams to New Orleans. Big Steven Adams thing.
Steven Adams.
Where's he at? Clippers?
New Orleans.
New Orleans?
So
the real news?
what's the real news?
Is that what you got pulled up here? I mean, the James Harden fucking mystery of where he's going to play.
Well, I mean, he reported to camp, right? Did not look in good shape at all, right? The pictures and jokes all over the internet. People were calling him Kevin James Harden and playing for Denver McNuggets and everything else. I mean, the jokes were, the internet was on fire with that kind of stuff, which is great. But the real situation is, like, the comment came out that he has not even talked to his new GM at all. I mean, how do you go about, as the star player, not commenting you're talking to your GM? Like, what do you guys think of that?
Well, he's upset that he wasn't involved in picking the GM. See, it's from what you hear out of Houston, it's everything James wants, everything James needs. He gets away with everything. He got that superstar status. I mean, right now he just came out. He looks so uninterested in even being there. It's just gonna play out really bad. I mean, and it usually works. And it usually works out in the Stars' favor. He's gonna find his way out of there somehow. You see, over the summer,
he looked like he was in phenomenal shape, and then he was out literally a month out away from basketball for a month, and he seemed to gain a lot of weight. Now, what do you guys think about the Steven Jackson comments about him? He's out there chasing rappers, and he's not supporting a young black coach and Steve Silas, which he should be doing. Like I mean, that does seem to lead to some big missteps in leadership.
I've never seen James Harden as a leader. Anytime, anywhere. I haven't seen him. I never seen him as a leader. So this is something I kind of expect from him. He's just that guy. That's really got that franchise. He got a stranglehold on him.
Yeah, so, I forget. One of the assistant coaches, I just seen it in passing, was like pretty much like, you built your bed with James Harden. You gave him all of this power. You gave him the whatever he wants to do his way. And it's like, pretty much, you made your bed, now lay in it. And he's like, kind of like, I told you so. Or it was like I want to say it was an old assistant coach. I forget who it was, but
I think Barkley came out and said the same thing too.
What's that?
I said Barkley came out and said the same thing too.
Yeah, that's what I saw the same segment. Barkley came out after. I mean, that sucks. And that's what we want to bring here for fucking
KG.
The next 10 years of our franchise.
Yeah, I'm with avoiding Harden at all costs. Now, let's say we don't get. Let's say James Harden stays there. So how does he fit in with John Wall or Boogie Cousins? How does he fit in with these guys? Like, does he? Like, he's already said that I don't want to be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a disaster. He's so uninterested. I think his minutes are gonna go down. His production's gonna go down. I don't see it working out.
I just thought it was like such an ironic move, because it was like, for Washington's standpoint, they were like Bradley Beal was like pissed off because he wasn't the main guy, and it was like John Wall, and it was like, well, Westbrook couldn't get along with Harden because he needed to control the ball. It's like, now you throw him into fucking Washington.
Yeah, it's the weirdest trade.
And Harden, it's like the same exact fucking swap, with just maybe like a little bit better talent now in each different situation. It's like, it was kind of
Well, speaking of weird combinations, right here we got another one in Brooklyn now, right? We got these two guys, you know, Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Like, so when you're looking at these guys, like what are the expectations for Brooklyn? Like what do we think with these guys who haven't played basketball in over a season and a half? Either of them.
Eastern Conference Finals, I think, is being light on them.
Nah, I don't know what to expect of these two. I mean, is Spencer DeWitt is still there? Is that dude
Spencer?
still there?
They have a good young core.
Yeah,
Spencer,
because they have.
He's still there. Karis LeVert.
Yeah, they have a squad. I mean, these guys just getting play in shape, and I think just somehow if they come together. I mean, Kevin Durant. I mean, once he starts getting rounding back into shape, he's going to be unstoppable.
I mean, listen, if those two could play together, I mean, they should be competing for the Eastern Conference Finals to at least the finals.
Personality-wise, I mean, Kevin just made the comment about Kyrie being out of his mind. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard Barkley's interview today about him, but he said, listen, you went to Duke, you went to college for 6 months. You're not the smartest player in the league. You're an NBA basketball player. Like, stop trying to be this uber intellectual when you're literally a basketball player. Like, it's okay to be involved in social issues and stuff like that, but when you're talking about the stuff that Kyrie's talking about, listen, it's a little scary. And he went to Boston with a lot of expectations, and they played better without him. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what if KD is healthy and if Kyrie has his mind right, which I'm more inclined to say that it's most likely to have KD to have his health than Kyrie have his mind right, because he hasn't shown it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they did come out and put on a little show in the first half of their debut. I mean, Durant looked healthy,
which is good, which is really good, because I'm battling the same injury right now, and it's tough, I
mean, this is what they wanted, right? I mean, they put this together, so I mean, they're gonna have to work it out.
Yeah, I mean, and you have D'Antoni there. You have Nash, Steve Nash there too, with D'Antoni.
Stoudemire.
I mean, they're giving them what they want, so it's going to be real interesting to see what we're talking about with this team's coming up. I mean,
yeah, and the Knicks still stink.
What's that?
And the Knicks still stink.
And the Knicks are going to stink for
Brooklyn's just completely. I mean, you kind of seen it come in the last couple of years, but they just completely took over the New York basketball. I mean, for the time being, anyway.
Listen, they like the little simple stuff. When they came in, they brought in Jay-Z, right?
Right.
They had that implosion. Now they have the more
hip,
recognizable hip,
right?
Uniforms. Now they have the new. They had the Biggie Coogee sweaters the other,
right.
homage the other day, the other year. Now they have the Brooklyn Basquiat inspired Brooklyn jersey, and now did you see what they're bringing back now? What's that?
It's dope. The floor is dope. It looks cool.
Well, now they're bringing out too. They're bringing out the old school Nets, the Petrovic net jersey with the
baby blue.
Baby blue, yeah. The baby blue, the Petrovic and Derek Coleman and Kenny Anderson, and them guys, and them really good teams wore back in the day. So listen, they're being more relatable than the Knicks are ever going to be, and it's something the Knicks are going to have to catch up, or they're going to get left behind.
I see Brian Attard's a little late to the party.
Yeah, we're not even commenting about management right now. Management to us is they're just fucking ticks on our balls. You know what I'm saying? We got this, I guess. I mean, what are you gonna do? You got to take the ball and run with it yourself. If you're not the point guard, you got to handle the rock, right, Meads?
That's
it. With that being said, let's get into some team outlooks, right, guys? I mean,
let's do it.
I mean,
start with the best team, or start with our team?
I saw six. The current Sixers power rankings is they're number 6. Do you
6. I
agree
saw
with?
9.
Yeah. Do you agree? I saw 6. I figured
What's that?
around 5, 6. I said between 4 and 6 in the beginning of the year. I think the Nets, they got the Nets too high for not knowing what's going on. How that team's going to be right now.
Well, are you still throwing like is the Heat? The Heat's got to be up there.
The Celtics, Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Nets, and then the
Denver.
Sixers.
I mean, I'd probably put Denver over Philly.
Well, when you're looking at it,
I'm going Eastern. I'm going Eastern Conference. I'm looking at the Eastern Conference rankings.
Yeah.
That I saw them as 6.
Oh yeah,
For the
that
Eastern
makes
Conference. Yeah.
yes.
yeah, you're looking at like everybody has like different projections and everything like that. It's kind of interesting to see. There was a let me pull it up here in a second. But when I don't know if you guys are familiar with the website 538. They do a lot of like analytical stuff, and they were really high on the Sixers. They had the Sixers as one of the top teams that that are going to have the chance to even make it. So if you look at it here, it is going to show you their projections, and it's all analytical based. And if you look, chance of making the finals, you have the Lakers number 1, Celtics number 2, Clippers number 3, and then right there you have the 24%. You have the Sixers, and then 22% you have the Bucks. So they're expecting a lot out of the Sixers team. If you guys break down what we're saying here,
Yeah, that's amazing. That's surprising.
yeah. I mean, it kind of when you're looking at kind of something like this, like when the chance to make the playoffs 97%, stuff like that. I think the big part of the Celtics, Sixers, Bucks, and their chance to make the finals is because they don't have the Lakers or Clippers. I think when you look at these numbers, that really has a big part of it.
I mean, you even look at the playoff percentages up there. I mean, the Clippers were below a 90, or Sixers, and half of the East was at like 92, 90.
Yeah, it's going to see, it's patience, and if they mesh well and everything like that. Now, one team that we haven't mentioned, which everybody was talking about last season, and obviously it was a little fool's gold, is the Clippers. The other team that now what are the Clippers going to do? I mean, they kind of retooled a little bit. Are they going to finally meet the expectations? They just paid Paul George a lot of money to bounce the ball off the side of the backboard in the playoffs,
right? They brought in or they lost Montrezl Harrell, brought in
Serge
Ibaka.
Ibaka.
Right.
Yeah, this is for J-Rock. This is the Penny and Shaq NBA Jam shirt, J-Rock. I got you, buddy.
So I mean, you lose Harrell, you're bringing in Ibaka.
Right.
Doc's gone. Now it's Ty Lue with no LeBron James.
And Paul George, threw some parting shots at Doc Rivers, and then Doc Rivers' comment was like, "Hey, Ty Lue sat there next to you all season, so don't expect much more." I mean, the report came out about James Harden and all the abilities and leeway that he had in Houston. But if you read the report about the Clippers last season, about them scheduling practice and whenever they wanted and stuff like that, I mean, is it going to be is it going to be more the same, or are they going to tighten the reins and be professionals?
Yeah, I mean, I would find it hard to believe that Doc Rivers let all of that get away, or let them get away with all that, and then Ty Lue's going to come in and change their mindsets. But
yeah, definitely.
I mean, even Kawhi doesn't come off as that kind of player. He looks like he wants fucking structure and to the book, and they're all trying to like shake his hand.
Listen,
and he's like staring through him.
Marvin Harrison and Kawhi Leonard are two players that I find very similarities to. Right, very quiet guys. Okay, very quiet guys. They get the media perception and the national perception that they're quiet guys and structure everything like that. No, Kawhi Leonard is all about Kawhi. His uncle is all about Kawhi. Listen, Kawhi Leonard couldn't get along with Popovich, wanted out of there. When he was with Toronto, from all reports, he was the biggest pompous, spoiled guy that you can imagine. Finagled his way to the LA Clippers, and it's the same story. So I think Kawhi has the wrong perception of being some nice guy because he's quiet. He's not.
I think they digress this year. Personally, I think they're going to get jumped by the Nuggets and maybe Portland.
Yeah, I mean Nuggets are the team that I have out of the West. That's going to be the next highest jump. They got rid of. Who they get rid of?
Well, Jeremy Grant went to Detroit as a free agent.
Isn't that weird as a six-fan team? Like, damn, like that hurts. You're losing Jeremy Grant. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, listen, when we were watching the playoffs last year, we're watching Jeremy Grant get double teamed.
Right. It was. I mean, he was here. Like, all right, see you, bud. Thanks.
That's Brett Brown for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that helps them. Might be an unpopular opinion, but it's now Michael Porter Jr. gets that advanced role. And you saw when he came out of the bubble, he had spurts where he was just going off. Jamal Murray, he fully made the jump in the bubble to he's a superstar now. For what he did in that playoff run, he was arguably probably the best player in the bubble last year. So, I mean, him and the Joker, you know what they're going to get. It's Michael Porter if he could put that full season together at what you've seen. I mean, that Denver team's going to be fucking
J-Rock.
They're right back. Leave my Clipper. There we go. Leave my Clips alone.
Oh,
he good.
Remember that.
But he's a Sixers fan.
He's not a Sixers fan. He's a
right there.
But listen, here's the thing with the Nuggets, right? They lose Grant. They got Michael Porter Jr. He's going to step up in a bigger role. I mean, they had pretty much their starting five in place. Millsap's still there. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. So my biggest question though is the teams like the Suns, the Blazers, the Nuggets, the Heat. Are they going to be able to keep the bubble momentum that they had last year and bring it into a full season? Because I mean, they look like the best teams. I mean, until reality set in and the Lakers, knocked them off and everything like that. But when you're talking about the Suns going undefeated in the bubble, with the Blazers, with what they did, and Nuggets and the Heat making it all the way to the finals, very surprising. I mean, are these teams going to be able to carry that momentum onto this season?
Right.
I don't know. The bubble, so many players, it seems like, sprouted out of this bubble.
Right.
Tyler Hero, Booker,
TJ Warren,
all these guys out of the bubble came out of nowhere. It's like, how does how did this happen? So it's interesting to see. I don't think the Suns are really going to be move up a little bit, but they're going to be fighting for that spot.
Look what Chris Paul did. Look what Chris Paul did at OKC.
True.
Yeah, Chris Paul really surprised in OKC. I mean, I thought he was in there to tank. Phenomenal.
He went out. They were competitive
team all year.
Yeah, it was good. Here's one thing we're talking about the bubble and going into the next season, right? Look at these stats right here, right? The length of time by player, and how they're and how long they've been off, right? If you look at the bottom, you got, I mean, it's
Durant, Kyrie.
You're talking about over a year these guys haven't played. But even guys like Trae Young, Bradley Beal, like teams that didn't make the playoffs, they're almost like a full calendar year. And then, Ben, Zion, Darren, these guys, these teams that did make the playoffs, I mean, it's been long. So like LeBron came out and was crying a little bit about the short rest. But I mean, he had what, 2.5 months off.
How is Simmons at different games or different?
Say that again, bud.
Embiid's at 121. Ben's at 139.
Ben got hurt last year. Remember?
Ben was hurt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and some of these, and they're not all even. Like if you notice that Bam and Jimmy Butler, and LeBron and Anthony Davis, whose teams, their season ended last year on the same day, but they play a day They start a day later.
Right.
So when you look at something like this, it's like these guys haven't. A lot of these guys haven't played basketball in a long, long time. I mean, Trae Young hasn't played in 286. This is it's going to be interesting to see how they develop and how they kind of move forward in this kind of stuff. That was Kurt Goldsberry. That was property of Kurt Goldsberry. Who does a great job. You guys follow him on Twitter. Check him out. Gives you all kinds of great analytics. Stuff like that. So when you're it's going to be. That's what I'm saying. Like I think teams like I think especially the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers get the number 1 seed this year, just because I think that there's going to be a combination of two things. Like the same reason why Giannis wins the MVP and the Bucks finish number 1 seed in the East is because there's going to be other teams playing hard. Like I can see Denver Nuggets coming out or the Clippers being revitalized and just trying to play hard and get that 1 seed. I think LeBron, I think these guys are going to be taking a little bit more rest days than normal, and they're just going to gear up and look for the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody stole that 1 seed out West.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would assume it would be the Clippers, but I mean that goes into the mindset of Kawhi Leonard is I don't give a fuck about the 1 seed. I want to rest and make sure I'm good for the playoffs. So that's pretty much why they weren't the 1 seed last year. I mean, they were just those guys. They played like we talked about it last year when they went into the bubble. They only played like 15 games together.
Right.
You already went through like a whole season, and like you guys only played 15 games, and so I mean, you like to see if they're going to change that that little method up.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're looking at it like that, man, it's it's definitely something that, like, are these teams going to try to be a little bit more forthright in developing that continuity sooner? Because then, like, what if they kind of like, all right, we're taking off, a little bit, and then somebody gets hurt, and now, all of a sudden they got to hurry up and start playing together. It's something that I think we need to really look at. I mean, if you look at, I'm going to post here, the conference predictions, right? You got the Lakers at plus 140, Clippers plus 265. So, I mean, you have 4 teams right now, in each conference that, especially the Lakers, that are a huge favorite. Any of those numbers jump out at you?
I mean, I like the Sixers plus 900.
I was going to bring that up because if you look at the stat that we just brought up by 538, like they're 22% to get to the finals, right? So that plus 900 looks like a really good deal. Yeah.
I mean, Clippers plus 275 isn't I don't know. Plus 275, plus 140 Lakers, and then it drops all the way down to plus 11 or plus 1,000 for the Nuggets.
Yeah.
You can sprinkle on the Nuggets. Nothing wrong with a sprinkle on the Nuggets right there.
Little this. We'll have something good.
I mean, the Mavs. We haven't talked a lot about the Mavs tonight. Just my opinion. The Milwaukee Bucks will never win an NBA title. Ever?
Agree.
I
agree with J-Rock. Mark this down.
They already won one.
Yeah, I would like to save that screenshot.
With Lou Alcindor.
Yeah, in 1971 with Oscar Robinson and Lou Alcindor, they won the championship.
I mean, listen, I give them props. That's a bold prediction to make when they win the President's Cup every year for the last 3 years now. They have the best player in the NBA. They have the rating 2. I know he's not the best player. I said quotes.
They have the MVP. They have the regular season MVP.
Back-to-back MVP. Or was he back-to-back?
Yeah. And they just re-signed him for a super max, the biggest in history. What do you feel? Let's talk about that a little bit.
The Bucks are under pressure. I think the Bucks have to win like within a year or two, because then you have these teams coming behind them. I mean, if they don't win, the Sixers are going to get better, the Celtics are going to get better, the Nets are going to get better. I mean,
they're not beating those teams now.
Right.
When they're like supposed to be beating them.
And
they're not going to get to the finals.
So when you look at it though, Giannis signing his contract, right? A huge amount of money, everybody's taking it like he's really showing a commitment to Milwaukee, and I think he has, because the town really embraced him. He loves it there. I mean, you're talking about a city that used to give him rides. He used to send all his money his rookie year back, home to his parents, and he'd be taking rides and hitchhiking to the actual games. I mean, you have an NBA star as a rookie doing that. He's come from a different cloth than these pampered NBA stars now. When you talk about James Harden, you talk about these guys. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me to see if he stays.
What this Laker team?
I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going anywhere. I just don't see them in the foreseeable future winning a title. I just don't see it with the talent coming up from the East. I think the East is getting better. And I mean, the signing of Holiday is going to be a good play, but
I like Drew.
I don't know if it's going to be enough. I really don't.
I mean, it's definitely an upgrade, but I mean, to say that they'll never. But I mean, not to change the subject completely, but Lakers and Suns are on NBA TV, and the Lakers come out with the lineup: Schroeder, Kuzma, LeBron, Gasol, and AD. they look. I mean, they're getting smoked right now, but actually, 7-5
preseason. So since you're talking low preseason, like what guys like in preseason have really stood out to you?
Kyle Kuzma's come out. It's like 10 of 21 from 3 in like 2 games.
Have you seen Zion? No one's talking about Zion. He's come back in shape. He's going to play more minutes. I'm high on Zion this year.
Listen,
I am.
Zion played 33 minutes in his first preseason game, which is a little weird. He doesn't look in shape to me yet. I thought he looked lean.
I thought he looked leaner. I thought he looked lean.
He's coasting out there a little bit. When he gets the ball, he's extremely explosive. But then when he moves for the rebound, he's got explosive. But until he does that, he's kind of like, I don't know if it's just because it's preseason. He just kind of like jogs around a little bit, and then next thing you know, he explodes. Then he just jogs around a little bit. Then he explodes. It'd be interesting to see him bring it like full tilt like the entire time.
Yeah, I'm excited for Zion this year. And I like so.
Yeah. I mean, Lonzo. So, yeah, we haven't even brought up LaMelo Ball, the Hornets. Nobody gives a shit about them.
Well, we'll talk about. Well, I mentioned Gordon Hayward earlier. I mean, we'll talk about the rookies in a little bit. But listen, Shams just reported a response from Daryl Morey, and when he was asked about the Ben Simmons, and here it is. This is courtesy of Shams Karina from The Athletic. We're not trading Ben Simmons. He's an important part of our future. Nothing really groundbreaking there.
Yeah,
that is very groundbreaking. Thank God.
But here's the thing: is that the kiss of death? like a lot of times, when people are like, "Oh, we're not trading him," and next thing you know,
it's happening. Well, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean, man? Something's going to go down with James Harden.
We're not trading Ben, but maybe Joel.
Right.
Joel. Yeah. Flip it like that.
Yeah.
Happy that we're going into the season without Horford's contract. That is good.
Kevin just right. Kobe White. What about Kobe White? We're not even talking about the Bulls. The Bulls are about
game last night.
You were saying
last night.
He was answering the question to has anybody else?
Right. I'm sorry, I got distracted by this. So yeah, Kobe White looked really good. Yeah, scored it. What did you have? 26 points the other night? Last night,
something like that. Yeah.
So KD and Kawhi came out and dominated their first half, and then sat. I mean, Durant looked good. He like I said, he was healthy. Caught in, went to the rim, nice dunk, went in, a little one leg fade away off of the Achilles. So,
Kyrie's on that vegan diet, looking alienish.
Yeah, We'll see what he's got going on there. But so when we're talking about players like we're hyped up for the preseason, like what do you think about like these guys who are like like so you mentioned a little bit earlier, Tone, about the guys who really took off in the bubble. Do you think these bubble stars are they going to be, is Tyler Hero going to transcend into the whole series? I mean, Booker, TJ Warren, are these guys who are bubble stars? Even we could bring up a name from the past. Carmelo Anthony looked, pretty good in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the bubble. I mean, are these guys going to be able to do it for a full season, or do you think they were just a bubble, oddity, and it's going to burst in the regular season?
Well, I believe Booker was a legit player before the bubble. I mean, for him, a player like Tyler Hero, he's only 20 years old. He was doing great things in the bubble. I mean, I think
on and off the court, because his girl is looking
yeah, he's going to be a superstar, no doubt. He's definitely going to be. They got a great player in him, Hero.
Oh yeah,
I think he's gonna. Yeah, his potential is. He's so young. He's a really good player. I believe in him. And like I said, Booker, he was a legit player before the bubble.
Jacob brings up a good name, Spencer Dinwiddie. I know you mentioned him a little bit, but listen, he looked really good in the bubble. He looks really good preseason. He looks like a legit player. Caris LeVert looks like a legit player. Like Brooklyn had a nice little run in the bubble. They played hard with all these young guys that they had. Jared Allen and these guys. Like, so I mean, do you think a guy like Dinwiddie is going to fit into that role with KD and Kyrie and maintain his bubble presence?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what Dinwiddie's filled a role for them the past 3. That's what he's been a role player for them. And I know he was kind of the main guy when D'Angelo Russell left for that season. But like right before that, he had the 2 years with D. Russell where he was coming off the bench and he was still very productive. And then they traded Russell. He was the guy. And then now all of a sudden, he's not the guy again.
Yeah.
And now he's the third wheel, but he's going to be important.
Yeah, but like I said, like the Brooklyn team, it feels like there's a lot of role players. Caris LeVert, Jared Allen, those guys. I thought they underperformed last year, which says a lot for Kyrie by himself on a team. Can't really get him over that hump. That's why you'll see Durant's going to be stupid for them. Just because Kevin Durant is that caliber player. That's why I said I got Brooklyn running all the way. They should go to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's where.
I don't think it's going to be an easy path when you just look at all the talent, but
I just think Kevin Durant's the second best player in the NBA. I know he's coming off an Achilles. If he's healthy, he's bringing the team. He's bringing a team with talent pretty much to the finals. So I said it's going to be hard.
So Scoops, that I tore my Achilles playing ball, and I'm still can't walk. I'm currently still in the infinite stages, right? So I did a lot of
rehab is 20 times 1,000 better than anything that we're going to get as normal people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's not really a question. But when you look at, well, like I said, I did research on it. So when you look back into the NBA guys who. When you look back to the NBA guys who tore their Achilles, when you're talking about Kobe, when you're talking about Dominique, you're talking about there's a long list of guys, and it normally does not take one season to get there. Right. So even though, listen, Durant has had longer than normal to.
Yeah, because he chose to. He could have came back. He chose to stay.
He was very smart. So we might see, listen, there's only one player in NBA history that has had a good or equal season after an Achilles injury, and that is the freak show of Dominique Wilkins way back when. And medical advancement and everything has come, late years to what Durant is going to be doing. Sure. So when you're looking at that right now, man, I have high expectations for Durant, but let's just hope that the healthy – his health holds up and there's no other injuries, because when you get hurt, you overcompensate sometimes, and hopefully Durant and everything is good and Klay Thompson will become healthy and overcome this injury too, because it's a nightmare.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, we haven't even really brought up the Warriors too much either, but I mean, that's just like Klay Thompson is just 2 years going out of the league right in the middle of his prime. Like, that's fucking terrible. The Warriors, I mean, I don't know. We saw kind of what they were last year without Durant and Clay. Are they that much different of a team?
Well, you got to think that you're adding James Weissman, right? Whatever you're going to say with him is.
Sure. Well, you're right. You don't know what you're going to get with him yet.
You have Kelly Oubre. See, I don't know. Listen, it's a huge question mark because when you look at guys like Oubre, when you look at guys like Andrew Wiggins, when you look at these guys, right? They're one-dimensional scorers, and they're not. Oubre's improved as a shooter, and everything like that. So when you're looking at this kind of stuff, are they really the complete team that you need, though? I mean, because Clay, as much as we're talking about Clay as a shooter, defensively, he's locked down. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wiggins ain't there. Oubre ain't there.
Clay is probably the best defender on that team.
Yeah. So I mean, when you're looking at stuff like that, man, I mean, Golden State has a lot to finish out because one thing is when you're a team trying to face, and especially in the West, when you're looking at the West, right? Every night, man, there's some freak point guard that you got to guard, right? And you have Steph Curry, who is a horrible defender, with Wiggins and Oubre out there on the perimeter. James Weissman might lead the league in block shots because he's going to be blocking so many of them,
right?
Or he's going to lead the league in fouls.
Fouls.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think he's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be a good player. I think with Draymond next to him, I think he's going to be a really good player. He's NBA ready. All right, Paulie, handle your brother-in-law. Let him know what's up.
Oh, that's your brother-in-law?
Yeah, I guess he just.
I recognize the girl next to him.
Yeah, he just doesn't get it.
It's all right. I mean, he don't really look like a baller or an athlete or anything like that. So, I mean, what are you going to do? We all got to
Man, it's crazy.
Does Sean want Harden? Sean, do you want Harden?
Listen. Boy, George, hey, what's up, Drew? How you doing? Thanks for showing up. Paulie is in the house, buddy.
Now, there ain't no way. I mean, he probably would want Harden here. I mean,
here you go. Look. We here we go. Willie Rosado, my man. Will Herbert or Murray? Are we talking about Jamal Murray? Yeah, Willie's my man. Listen, there's no way on earth I'm sitting Kyler Murray against a banged up Eagles secondary. No way on earth.
Go with Herbert. Go with Herbert.
You say take Herbert over Kyler Murray in fantasy?
Yeah.
And what do you say, bud?
I'll go with Murray.
Kyler Murray. Listen, Kyler Murray got you to this point. Don't sit him, But anyway, back to basketball. Listen, I like – I'm sorry. I'm with that. Listen, I like Drew's point here. Simmons is a 6'10 Rondo, and, he's pretty similar to Rondo. He's pretty similar to Jason Kidd at his earliest point of his career. Right. I mean, listen, extremely high basketball IQ. People need to allow him to develop a little bit more. Allow him to grow. Like, let him be the basketball player that he's supposed to be, especially under Doc Rivers. People that just want to criticize an all NBA player with an all defensive team, it's just kind of ridiculous. So I'll take a 6'10 Rondo right now. I mean,
right, but when you're looking at Ben, I mean, it's at first glance he has every single part of his game there. The only part of him to grow is just to shoot a little bit. I mean, it's never going to go away.
He's not going to need to shoot this year. Ben Simmons.
I don't need him to shoot 23 a game, but in the playoffs, it affects us when they can just back off of him, and they don't have to worry about him at the top of the key.
But if you, Paul, I know you watch the games, you watch the playoffs. That really doesn't happen too often. Because if you look down the stretch, it really doesn't happen often.
Now with the roster they constructed now, you're not going to see what Brown was trotting out there offensively. Doc's
and even though the Sixers didn't have a great shooting season as a team, Ben Simmons still led the league in open 3-point assists. He was hitting guys wide open left and right, which is a key. Now, if he hits Seth Curry, who has a higher percentage 3-point than his brother Steph, if he could get him going, he could get Danny Green going, who could hit all this stuff in there. I mean, you're looking at really, you build the team around him, let him play his game.
He could easily average a double this year. There's no reason why he shouldn't. He could roll out of bed, get 10 points, layups, rebounds. So listen, we
spent we feed into the trolls, and you spend a lot of time trying to talk about Ben Simmons and what it is, and it's always comes back to the same thing. Listen, if you don't understand how great of a basketball player Ben Simmons is at this stage of his career, 6'10" Rondo or whatever, you let the kid develop. Let's go into something else. Who is your underrated and overrated players going into it? So we already discussed Ben Simmons, so leave him out of this context. Like, who's underrated and who's overrated going into this season? What do you guys say?
Paulie,
I mean, overrated, I think, is probably just I don't want to say James Harden, but it's like I think the hype of having James Harden come to your team might be a little overrated. Like I said, I know I don't want him to necessarily come to Sixers for what we have to give up. That's a retarded comment. I wish I could delete it because he said LeBron, but
why you don't have to highlight it either, buddy.
I know.
Say LeBron.
Listen, he's obviously trolling you, so you can ignore him.
I think the hype of having James Harden coming to your team is a little overrated going into this season, and mainly being a Sixers fan, but I don't know. Either him or it's funny because it just sticks with that Rockets. It's either James Harden or the Russell Westbrook hype playing now with Bradley Beal and this great backcourt. I mean, you might see the same exact thing you just saw. I mean, Bradley Beal is not a better James Harden. If Wes Harden couldn't make it work, he's going to go make it work with a lesser scorer.
Well, how about you, Mees? Who's on your radar as potentially overrated?
I was going to say Sean is just on here is Kyrie. I'm going to go with Kyrie being overrated. I agree with Sean Strickland.
Kyrie's listen. He's been almost like a team killer, in the last few years, and it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. Overrated Kyrie
loves LaMelo.
LaMelo
guy, come on.
We're gonna listen to J-Rock. We're gonna get to the rookies in a little bit.
We're gonna get to LaMelo.
He might be a little underrated. He's playing in fucking Charlotte.
Well, he's the favorite for Rookie of the Year, so I don't know.
He's had 3 highlights.
Actually, he just had back-to-back threes as we're speaking too. So, one guy who we haven't talked about, right? And I'm going to mention him as underrated. Okay, we've seen the SI top 100 player come out today, right? This guy fell out to number 7 on the list. Okay, when you look at the MVP odds, right? So when we looked at the MVP odds, all right, I'm gonna post them up here. I'll just put them in the chat real quick here, and then we'll just show them. All right. When you look at the MVP odds, what specifically player jumps out to me as being extremely underrated is AD at plus 900.
I'm all over.
He carried the Lakers to the playoffs. Well, for regular season, and LeBron and him kind of brought it home. You know what I'm saying? But AD had a phenomenal season. During the regular season, there was a lot of talk about him being an MVP. Then they get into the bubble and LeBron was phenomenal and did everything he did to deserve that. Then you have AD, was I'm not going to say he was just as phenomenal, but he was right there. I mean, is he underrated saying that guys like he's number 7 overall in the NBA for the upcoming season when you just saw what he did? I mean, plus 900 is a little disrespectful.
I agree.
No.
Sprinkle on there, Tone. Sprinkle that 9.
I mean,
if they get the first seed and they play well and win 60-some games, AD's going to be the MVP, no doubt. Lock it in.
Yeah, but when you're looking at his counterpart and he's better statistically, like how the fuck we can't give it to him? And they don't want to ever give one to LeBron again. They can't keep piping that.
Okay, so there you go. So if you notice, LeBron's at plus 900, AD's at plus 900. If I'm betting, I'm taking AD.
Below.
Taking AD.
If that team gets to the playoffs and he has a year, NBA would love to bring him back to the fucking.
I think Seth Curry's a sleeper too.
So I said,
if
he brings them, if he gets the Warriors from last to the postseason again and has one of those spectacular seasons.
So you think Steph Curry?
Don't sleep on me. This was my prediction.
It's got a value. I'm looking for value right now.
Tony, value. Yeah. Tony, you were here for this show last year when we did our predictions going into the season without anybody on his team. I said Steph Curry is my MVP. Obviously got hurt. That went out the window. It's the same exact concept going into this year. If he can come in and bring that team, I mean, you see what they were without him. Without him and Clay. But if you put him in there and they go, I mean, I don't think they're a final contender.
I think they can get to the 5th seed, maybe the 5th seed.
Well, so here we go, right?
Zion love for MVP.
Not for MVP. I
love
think
Zion.
Ingram.
Zion 50-1. 50-1. Zion.
Is that what his number is? Yeah, listen, the Pelicans are good. The Pelicans are a good young team, and I don't know how losing Drew Holiday and it makes them a whole lot better. So they're going to need some players to step up on the perimeter. Alonzo Ball, Jeremy's second favorite player in the NBA besides LaMelo Ball. But if Lonzo Ball is going to have to step up big time.
And they switched coaches. They got Van Gundy.
Yeah,
so they got a new coach too.
Yeah, and that's it's going to be interesting. Van Gundy's been out of the league for a long time. Definitely going to be interesting to see. So since we're talking about players, we're talking about MVP. Who's your prediction for MVP, Paulie?
My prediction for the MVP. It can't be 3 times. Damn, that's Luka.
Luka, he's the odds-on favorite at plus 400. How about you, Ant?
I'm rolling with AD. I came into the show saying I was going to say AD.
Did you?
Sean wanted me to say LeBron so bad there. Please, I'm a realist.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ant, with the Anthony Davis. I think he's got great odds. Listen. I just don't think that Luka is ready to have the Mavericks into that next level yet. A top 3 contenders. I'm gonna say Anthony Davis is as well. I think he's good, but if I'll tell you if
triple double this year.
What's that?
Luka's going to average a triple double this year, and if anybody in my fantasy leagues listening, I have the 2nd overall pick. I'm taking him.
There you go. Nice.
That's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Number 2, Sal Colacerdo. Sal goes Luka 1. I mean, then I get Giannis.
Then you get Freak. Yeah, I mean, you can't lose with the number 2 pick.
Right.
I mean, you're golden. Anyway, how about finals prediction, guys? What do you think? Who's taking home the championship out of this unasterisked, unbubble season?
Oh man, I hate going chalk. So I'm just gonna go out and say the Nuggets, and I'm gonna say the Nets. For the finals.
The Nuggets and Nets.
I'm just going out. I'm not a chalk guy. I'm not going with the chalk this year. I could easily said Lakers. Could easily said Bucks.
Easily.
Yeah.
No,
Go
old
out on a
LeBron
limb.
is washed up.
Listen, I'm just going out on a limb.
How about you, Paulie? What do you like?
Finals prediction, man. I'm gonna go with a team we haven't really even mentioned again tonight too much. I think the Celtics come out of the East. Where are they at? Plus 600.
Well, this is for the finals. So the final
That's for the
prediction.
finals.
All right. Celtics come out of the East.
Celtics are plus 550 cut to win the East.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 1,300 to win the division. I mean, win the championship.
In the final. Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying. They're plus 600 to win the finals. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to say the Lakers again. They did too much in the offseason.
I like Kevin's. I like KG's pick though. I would really like to see a Lakers Sixers finals. I like KG right there.
I'd rather
like KG right there.
Play like the Nuggets.
Some old school Lakers Sixers.
Well, yeah.
That's it.
Why would you want to see greatest ever do it in the championship?
Oh, he retired a long time ago, but so that's not possible.
He's got a tea time tomorrow.
That'd be a win-win for me. LeBron probably does too.
Yeah. Lakers, Miami is J-Rock's pick. Listen, we haven't really talked to. I mean, we mentioned the Celtics. I mean, the Heat a little bit, but I mean, were they a mirage or are they really a team that's going to be for real?
Like I said, they go back the same exact team. So you'll see if Tyler Hero steps up. I mean, Duncan Robinson might be. I mean, one of the best shooters in the NBA.
Well, Hero. I mean, listen, they have shooters galore. That's for sure. So it'd be, Bam Adebayo was a phenomenal get last year, and he really stepped up too. So I mean, it's going to be it's very interesting to see. And if Jimmy Butler can play his role, I mean, they have a nice
fucking Philly.
The East is going to be jockeying for position all season. The East is going to be guys are going to be moving up and down. Within
I mean,
if
you look at the finals prediction, right? I mean, like to say, just like in the 538 stat, you have the Clippers and Lakers up top, right? Because they figure whoever comes out of the East is going to win it, and they're the favorites. But then you have the Bucks, the Nets, the Celtics, the Heat, the Raptors, and then you had the Sixers. So 5 of the next 6 teams are all Eastern Conference, So they really don't even have Vegas doesn't even really have a strong hold on who's going to be the next team coming out of the East. So it's wide open,
Mm-hmm.
Why not the Sixers, right? I mean, listen.
Don't people. They got the Warriors projected all types of high. It's just, I mean, plus 2,200. If they're comparing them up there with the Nuggets, Sixers, Mavs.
Well, at this point, the Warriors are a public team. A lot of people liked about the Warriors. They became a lot of fans. So you got to understand that some of these numbers are inflated a little bit by the public too. So I think that's the Warriors. What's that?
Is that how betting works? Public mess with the numbers. Sure.
Well, not everybody watching knows, gambles too. So I mean, like I'm saying, it seemed like you bought into it a little bit. So when you're looking at this, I mean, it's one of them things where
that's where I would go throw the Steph Curry MVP vote.
Listen, I mean, if you feel Steph Curry MVP is a great opportunity to win the MVP, I mean, why not double down with a plus 3,000 on the Warriors too? I mean,
go all in.
You think they're having a big season? I think
Luka's going to average triple double this year.
So yeah, that's very well possible. I mean, I think
MVP. They can't say it. They just can't not give it to you.
He was a phenomenon. I mean,
gets his team to the playoffs. He's going to average a triple double, and it's just, I think he did.
Well, how long is Porzingis out too?
That's just going to be him getting more for himself.
So who did they average in the offseason? Josh Richardson, right? We know that trade, which is a very good trade for them. I mean, because Richardson, I mean, although Steph Curry, it's a good trade for both teams, and that's what you're trying to look for in the NBA is you have Seth Curry is the shooter that the Sixers need, and the Mavericks really needed that wing defender. Josh Richardson, for whatever he's worth, he plays good defense on the wing, and the Mavericks definitely need that. So you have Luka, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Who'd they draft? Another wing, right? Josh Green.
Yeah, I think that Josh Green and who's the other kid? They had two guys. I'm drawing a blank right now. So what? I think I might have been a year early, right? Because last year, me and you, Paul, we both picked the Lakers versus Sixers.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's stay with Lakers versus Sixers. I know I'm going to be.
There you go.
I'm going to be
I
half
like it.
correct, right? I'm going to be half correct because the Lakers are most likely going to get there.
Out of three of us, nobody had the Clippers, and I like where you went.
I don't like the Clippers. I don't like the Clippers. I'm not feeling the Clippers.
Well, listen,
I'm not.
Everybody sleeps on them, and it's like, oh shit, like Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, but it's also Paul George. I mean, Kawhi carried that team. And here's another thing about the Clippers that I'm very off about the Clippers. When you look at the last few postseasons, Lou Williams, for whatever reason, is the worst shooting guard in the playoffs. For whatever reason,
disappears.
What's that?
Disappears.
Exactly.
Legs, but.
Yeah, and listen, Lou Williams' mom is one of the sweetest ladies you ever meet. When he was with his Sixers, she was such a sweetheart with everybody there. I mean, she was so sociable, and like he's a guy you want to cheer for. In one of my offices, I got his picture up. In a Sixers uniform, great kid, but he just doesn't show up in the playoffs. Paul George doesn't show up in the playoffs. Like, so the only one who showed up in the playoffs last year, that you weren't expecting was Ivan Zubac. And Doc Rivers kept him on the bench for whatever reason. So, where are we going here with the Clippers? It's a team I'm afraid of. The Bucks too. The Bucks, I wouldn't put $1 on the Bucks. I mean, Giannis disappears, right? Drew Holiday, another one of my favorites, but I mean, he hasn't done anything in the playoffs. I mean, what are you guys thinking about the Bucks? I mean, is that somewhere you would go?
No. That's why I said. I mean, that's why I like the Celtics pick. I mean, I think Tatum is ready to. I think he's already kind of there.
Did you hear he grew 2 inches?
Tatum.
Yeah, I did see that.
He's listed officially at 6'10" now.
Yeah, that's sick.
Man, we could have had him.
Yep, should have had him. He fell right. Would have fell right to us. Would have fell right to it.
No love for this guy.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, a lot of love for Dame as the player, but I don't think he's bringing Portland anywhere.
I think that's a nice little squad to have in Portland. They're gonna give a lot of people problems. I like their roster.
Yeah, I mean, what about Nurkic is back?
The Bosnian Beast is really good in preseason.
Yeah, they'll be a scary team. They'll knock somebody out first round of playoffs, and then go lose to LeBron or Jamal Murray.
Listen, a lot is going to depend in the Western Conference of where you are. Mm-hmm. If you're a 7 or 8 seed, good luck. Good luck trying to win a game. Yeah.
But if you're a team like Portland in that 7 or 8, and you got to go against a Clippers team, I don't think you're. I mean, I think that Portland has a nice shot of coming out of there. Like that's a series bet. I'd take Portland.
I agree.
So I think you don't want to see. You want to stay away from actual teams, which I think is Denver and the Lakers in your first round. Those are your two. You want to. Like I said, I think Denver's going to take that leap where they're probably going to be the 2 seed, especially if. Like we said, if the Clippers are still doing all that resting.
Yeah. And you could see that they play hard. The Utah Jazz is another team that played pretty well in the bubble. Donovan Mitchell stepped up a little bit.
Utah. That was one of the better series with Donovan Mitchell going against Murray. Those two were just fucking machines.
Yeah, I mean, will they have enough left in the tank by the time we get to that point this year? Because they did that.
Murray doesn't have to do it all. Murray has. I mean, he's got the Joker there. That's like I think KG said it earlier. Like thanks to him, kind of. But I mean, Joker kind of got like put on the back burner in the playoffs. It's like, well, wait a minute. This guy's a superstar, and it's just everything was Jamal Murray. And now, like I said, we got Michael Porter supposedly blossoming into this.
Yeah, I mean, he was a little frustrating in the playoffs because he would go out there and play 6 minutes and have 8 points and hit 2 threes, and then he would go back to the bench, and it was kind of like
take him out.
Right, where's he going? Well, right. Well, they're double teaming fucking Jeremy Grant.
Defense is what he'll have to improve on to get to continue to play major minutes, take the next step, and as a Sixers fan and any Sixers fan, if you see this kid play and him and Shea Gilders-Alexander, those Shea Gilders is going. If you got a fantasy draft, target Shea Gilders-Alexander.
Yeah, he's high. He's high in the list.
He's going to do everything for that team. So, I mean, step up on that. But yeah, there are 2 guys that the Sixers passed over, which is just heartbreaking. Now
I wanted, Michael Carr. He was a reporter. I really would have loved to have him.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that Sixers draft, there's a long list of players that the Sixers could have just picked any player within that range and would have nailed it, except Zaire Smith, and that was just a mess.
So let's hope they hit this year.
Listen, we talked a little bit about the Nuggets and one of their fun players, Bol, right? Manute's son, Bol. He's considered a rookie this year at plus 2,500 to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, I don't know if he makes that.
There's Zion a rookie again.
Nah, Zion's not a rookie again.
Bol has a legit chance if he gets minutes.
What happened with Bol?
He has a legit chance if he gets minutes. It all depends on his minutes. I think he could be a productive player. He's got skill. He has legit skill.
7, was he like 7'1"?
He's 7'3" with handle.
The court, right? Yeah.
I mean, did you see him play last night? I mean,
yeah, I was watching him play last night.
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, he does look good. He could shoot the ball. He could handle the rock. I mean, it's all about the minutes because guys like Anthony Edwards who look pretty good and LaMelo Ball who looks, he's starting out pretty good in this game. He didn't shoot the ball. He didn't score his first game at all. No. 0 points. But I mean, for Bol to pass these guys who are going to get a lot more playing time is going to be really tough. I mean, Opie Toppin in New York Knicks looks very good. I mean, it's definitely Killian Hayes. I mean, these guys are going to have a lot more opportunity than Bol, but he's an interesting prospect. Who do you guys looking at Rookie of the Year? Who do you guys think? It might not be somebody I have listed here, but who do you guys like for Rookie of the Year?
I'm rolling with Weissman. I think I think he's going to get thrown right in. He's going to get minutes, and just the players around him are going to make him better. So I'm rolling with Weissman for the Rookie of the Year.
I think I got Anthony Edwards.
So Meads, you're looking at you and Paulie. I mean, if you're real high on Seth Curry and the Warriors,
yeah, you tie it all in.
I mean, Weissman might be there. I mean, listen, they could. I mean, if everybody's all in on the Warriors, why do you think Anthony Edwards in Minnesota? It's going to be. I'm very fearful of what's going on in Minnesota for a couple of reasons.
I'm suspect in Minnesota.
He's got a what?
He's had a slow start, but he's a scorer. I just think he's going to put up his numbers. LaMelo Ball. He said, you can't go wrong with picking him.
I saw today that LaMelo's might not even be in the starting lineup for them at the beginning of the year. I saw an article. Him not starting.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because they changed their starting lineup tonight. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of ensures that LaMelo Ball is going to be in the starting lineup. Let me see if I can pull it up here for you real quick. Where are we at here, Charlotte? They put PJ Washington at the 5. That's what it is.
Okay.
Did they start Melo Ball? No, they didn't start Melo Ball tonight either. So you got Scary Terry Rozier at the 1. You got Deontay Graham, who I'm a big fan of too. He's another fantasy sleeper if you need threes in categories. Cody Zeller at center, and Cody Martin actually played. But listen, LaMelo Ball is turning it up tonight. He's got 11 points on 4 for 10 shooting and 3 for 7 from 3. I mean, if he could shoot the ball like that, he's going to be interesting. So he doesn't.
Him and Zoe, I mean, they look the same to me. I mean, watching Alonzo and LaMelo, I mean, just their play is very similar.
Well, the big difference is between the two of them is attitude and personality and confidence. LaMelo is the guy who's going to shoot the ball from anywhere. Zoe didn't come into the league with that kind of confidence, And LaMelo, right now, Lonzo Ball came into the league as a pretty decent defender. LaMelo Ball, he's a horrible defender, so he's going to have to improve on that. But yeah, and they do look a little similar. In Ball, I trust. Yeah, where's our boy Havermel so we could have him and J-Rock go at it about the Lonzo Ball? I'll tell you one person who's not going to be Rookie of the Year, and that's Jello Ball, because the only ball he's playing is overseas or something, because he is not an NBA player.
And think about it. He got cut, and they just expanded the rosters for the NBA because of the COVID. Recently, I think today it came out, and he got cut. He couldn't make it.
Well, I don't know if you heard me explain this beforehand, but the reason why Jello got the contract in the first place was because of the relationship that Jaren Jackson had with Melo Ball and the Detroit Pistons. Jaren Jackson's his trainer, manager kind of deal. So he was before the NBA draft, he was trying to work out a deal because LaMelo Ball, they do a lot of camps and stuff like that in the Detroit area. And Detroit Pistons were trying to work out a deal with Jaren Jackson and LaMelo to try to get them to position themselves up so Detroit could take them. The Jello Ball contract was kind of just a thank you for that. They give him a little bit of money, and and that's that, and that's pretty much the end of his career. Just so he could say he signed. And because if you think about it, the first preseason game, he didn't play a minute, and then they cut him.
Yeah.
Listen, for whatever you think about the Ball brothers, the dad's a pompous idiot. He's the bad dad's a complete moron, but you never blame the kid for the sins of the father, right? The old saying. So when you're looking at that, even if you look at LaMelo was a complete idiot when he was 15 years old, and they got all the hype and the TV and everything like that. But he seems like he's maturing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I give him credit for that. But Jello just isn't an NBA player. You just have to live with it, J-Rock, and get that $10,000 ready to give to Havermel. You are going to have to pay the man.
Yeah, that was a shitty bet. I want to see why he got cut.
I just told you why he got cut. If you're listening.
Probably wasn't putting the ball in the rim.
Listen, Jello Ball has never excelled anywhere he has played basketball. He was a flame out in UCLA when he was stealing sunglasses and all this other nonsense. He never played anywhere and has played well. The only reason why he got this cut was got this opportunity was a favor. So that's
right. Now that I missed my NFL bets.
Listen, if you're worrying about betting 5 minutes before the game, you're
that should have been done by now, Paulie. Come on,
you got to look at the
amateur
hour here on.
You guys put your plays in 4 hours before the game, you nerds.
I put them in a couple days. Actually, that's where you get the good money. Like when I took Austin Eckler's over receiving yards yesterday. And now they're up 5-6 yards.
It went up. Yeah,
exactly. That's why you do these things. And we're not new to this. These young boys, his generation, they're more balls than brains.
He don't do his research. He just goes by, just throw it out there. Raiders in the over.
It's Chargers in the over.
Well, we're gonna find out, are we?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Listen, when you want to get this line, you got to get the line before the public moves. We've been doing this a long time. I've been holding book before Paulie was even born.
Public can move it. You need it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing the, you're in diapers, kid. I mean, come on now.
Does the exact thing either way. The public moves it one way. If you want it on the other side, it moves to you. So you're not going to bet it 5 days before when you want it to move.
If that's what you were trying to do, then good luck to you, bud. But most people, certain things, we don't try to worry about getting our bets in, 3 minutes before the game.
No, not 3 minutes, like 10, 15 minutes.
That's
see what it does up until it goes through.
Still a lot to learn.
You play the second half. Play the second half.
There. Listen to me. He'll get you where you need to be, buddy.
Listen, I'm teaching him how to do it.
Oh, that's rich. That's a good one. So who you guys got as your rookie of the year before while we got into it, right? You said
I said Weissman.
You said Weissman.
Listen, Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna go with Obi Toppin. I think the New York hype, if he could ball and get some points, I'm gonna go with Obi Toppin just because I think he's a good story. He's older than some of the Knicks rookies from 2 years ago, and Kevin Knox and them guys. And I think it's just it's going to be the one bright spot on the New York Knicks.
He could lead the rookies in scoring. He definitely he's going to have the potential to do that. Yeah, the scary the other person I think that could do that, and it was Paul's pick, was Anthony Edwards. The problem with Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota team, man, listen, Karl Anthony Towns is not in the right frame of mind at all. I mean, He lost his mother died because of the COVID situation, and he lost 6 other relatives. And it's crazy. That's crazy. And the thing is too, when bad things happen a lot of times in an athlete's life, when Brett Favre's dad dies, he goes out and throws 1,000 touchdowns or in one game or whatever it was. And, people use their sport to grasp onto. They asked Karl Anthony Towns, listen, now that your mom's not there, are you going to use basketball to embrace it and to kind of get as an escape to get away from everything? He goes, absolutely not. She was at every one of my games, and it just makes me miss her more. That shows that kid is not in the right frame of mind at all. And, pair him with D'Angelo Russell, who already has a big question marks, Anthony Edwards. I'm really skeptical about that Minnesota team that some people are high on. So, if Anthony Edwards, if D'Angelo Russell flames out and Cat isn't in the right frame of mind, Anthony Edwards might very well be the man in Minnesota before the year's over. Or he might be suspended in the league from doing some knucklehead shit. So it's going to be very interesting in Minnesota. So listen, I think we went about an hour and a half, guys. You guys have any closing questions, comments, any predictions? What do we, for our preview show?
No, I think we had a good show.
Excited about the year. Just hoping everything goes well with COVID. I don't know how this. How it's going to go.
What's the first game?
First game is what, the 23rd. It's the
second, 23rd, 22nd.
Yeah, 23rd? I think there's two games next week to start it off, and then you have the 3-game schedule.
Then a full day slate.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Then they have a full Christmas Day slate again, right?
And the Sixers aren't a part of the Christmas slate, which I'm a little pissed off about.
Wow, bums.
I mean, that just goes to show, like Miami and these teams. If you're not doing what you need to do,
they put Miami on the Christmas slot. Well, Miami was there last year, right? We played Miami on Christmas last year. No, we played the Bucks.
So the NBA, the very first game in the NBA season is a matchup between two teams that had superstars miss a ton of time last year, and the Warriors and the Brooklyn Nets is on TNT.
The Warriors, Brooklyn play each other?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
On TNT. And then the night game is the Clippers versus Lakers is the night game. So that's that's next Tuesday night.
So, they're trying to pull every type of rating they can.
And then Wednesday night is really when, which will be our next show on next Wednesday night. And
We'll be going off with the Sixers. 7 o'clock.
What's that? Christmas Eve?
Say that
The
again?
Wizards.
Christmas Eve or the 23rd?
23rd is when everybody really starts playing in the rest of the NBA. Then you have
Probably off Christmas Eve.
yeah, they're off Christmas Eve.
Right.
And then our Christmas slate, which is the annual, kind of start of the.
Yeah, what are the Christmas games?
You got Pelicans versus Heat to start off the 12 o'clock game while everybody's still waking up and opening presents. You got
to throw Zion out there. Not even the fucking rookie of the year. Ja gets no love.
Then you get Golden State Warriors versus Milwaukee Bucks.
It's weird.
Then, you got the reigning MVP against Steph Curry. Your pick for MVP. So that's going to be a nice little test.
Luka's my pick for MVP.
Oh, Luka. I'm sorry. Well, Luka. Okay.
Yeah.
So first we got the Nets versus Celtics in the Garden.
Yeah.
Then you got Luka versus the Lakers at the 8 o'clock game, and then we end Christmas. We end Christmas with the Clippers versus Nuggets.
That's a good slate.
Yeah.
The 8 and 10:30 games are good slates.
Probably shouldn't be in there. Like, come on. Fucking.
Who's that?
Pelicans shouldn't be in there. It should be Sixers.
You were breaking up when you said that. I still can hear you.
The Pelicans shouldn't have that. Who do the Pelicans play?
The Heat.
The Heat? Yeah, it should be Heat Sixers. Such a better game.
I 100% agree with you. But but remember we were talking about the bubble last year, how they scheduled everything in their mother to seem to get the Pelicans in the playoffs last year. Remember that?
Right. No, they need Zion to be the face of something coming.
I got questions marks still about Zion, man. I'm
Team Ja. I'm on Ja.
Zion's dropping 30 on Christmas, at least 30 on Christmas Eve.
But do they win?
I don't know. I don't care what the Pelicans do. I like Zion. I want to see Zion.
Zion versus Bam. That's a good
reaction tonight.
Yeah.
So.
All right, look at Sean, still there. Trolling, but he is still there till the end. Zion, better than Ben. Still trolling, but still there. So
this is what Zion reminds me of, right? Zion reminds me of that guy that when you're playing basketball, he was a phenomenal athlete in another sport 10 years ago. We're playing pickup games. Yeah, like he was a football. He was a D1 football player 10 years ago, and now he's playing basketball. And he, every now and then he just blows your mind with something athletically that he does. He's like, wow, but he's not really, impacting the game is like, or he's not even like, the best player on a team. I think Zion kind of is teetering on either he's going to take off and be one of the best players in the NBA, or he's going to be that guy. I'm interested to see because,
Well, what do you think he needs to do to take off? What do you think he needs to do to improve his game?
Well, first of all,
what player do you think he needs to be?
He has to be in shape and he has to play hard the entire game. 1, 2, he's got to work on his handle and his jump shot. His handle's okay in the open court, but when you're talking about close, and the other thing too is he has to pass but out of a double team. He passes pretty good in situations, but in a double team he's still lacking a little bit. Because you got to remember he's not the biggest guy and he doesn't have the longest arms. So when he's getting double teamed down in the post, he's got big men in the post, And here's the thing though, let's all put it in context. Like we have the MVP Giannis, right? Freak, regular season. Zion is going to be phenomenal in the regular season. It's all about the playoffs in the NBA. Because half the teams aren't even going to be playing hard in the regular season in the NBA. So you're going to see some phenomenal stuff out there. It's when the playoffs, and in playoff situations where I'm really interested to see what Zion does.
Sure. So it means, like you said earlier, it said he's down 30 pounds since the bubble. Zion.
Yeah. I mean, they said that he lost weight before he came in the bubble too. So it's going to be interesting to see. That's going to be, if he maintains his health, if he plays hard, that's the key. Well,
he's got no restrictions this year. He's coming into the league 0 restrictions. So this is the first time that we're going to see him just full go out and just do everything. And I mean, he's still putting numbers up last year. and he was on the minute restrictions.
He's gonna be. He's gonna be amongst. He's gonna be a top 5 scorer in the league. He's gonna be a top 5 scorer.
Yeah, put it on the board. We need to start making a board for us when we start putting out comments such as the top 5. I mean, very well.
You don't think he can average 30 a game? I think
Anthony Davis, Curry, Harden. Luka, Jamal Murray.
Hot take. Zion.
That's why I said we got to start getting a little bored. You're putting Zion in the top 5 scoring. Like I said,
if Zion plays 30 to 35 minutes a game, he's going to score 30 points a game.
Put it on the board. Our first one.
Zion's point. What did you say? Anthony Davis did what?
Top 5. Zion, top 5 scorer in the league this year.
No, but you said a couple other after that too. What were the other hot takes you said?
No, I'm just saying that like top 5 guys. You figure Anthony Davis, Harden, Luka, Murray.
Harden's dropping off this year. All this is going to affect Harden's play.
Guys averaged 30 points the last 3 years.
Harden's production is going to dip.
I'm excited to see Boogie Cousins there too.
Giannis.
How about Donovan Mitchell? I think Donovan Mitchell takes a step up.
Yeah, like I said, it's not crazy. He's up 35, 40 minutes a night, and he's just going out and fucking the entire team, then maybe. That's what I said. Put it on the board. Zion.
Put it on the board. Zion. Tomahawk dunks all year.
Are we we're back next week, right? Next Wednesday? We're back to Wednesdays?
I mean, you want to do Wednesdays or Thursday? I don't care. I'm Thursday might even work better for me.
I mean, Thursday is good night.
What's that?
Thursdays I tend possibly to venture a couple times.
Well, next Wednesday Sixers are on. Let's go live next Wednesday with the Sixers on.
Yeah, I think we'll be back on Wednesday. I don't know.
Wednesday night. All right. Well, we'll be back next Wednesday. And we'll see. We'll have what will we have next Wednesday? One game under the belt?
Yeah.
We'll be.
Play.
Next Wednesday is the 23rd. That'll be while they're playing their first game, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll have 2 games to talk about. Tuesday is the first game.
Oh, yeah. Yes. We'll have Monday night States.
And then they play Indiana preseason.
Yeah, so we'll be able to go over
tomorrow.
2 games and we'll have a full slate of games to go playing. So we'll be 7 to 8 next Wednesday, and we'll get it in.
That's it.
Yeah, we're back. Season's back.
Season's back. Little glimpse of LeBron there.
Paulie's loving it.
Yeah. Forgot about all these guys. Got a lot of big names this year. But so what
next MVP, baby.
There it is, MVP plus 900. Sprinkle.
And that's it, right? Yeah, next Wednesday, 7:00. We're live. Make sure you guys go give us a follow on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, fucking YouTube. Search the Sports Box on any of them. You'll find us. Until next Wednesday.
Hit us up.
We will see you then. I wish you all many great bets and a lot of winnings.
That's it. Make money. Make that money, boys.
Make that money later, gentlemen.
Thank you for watching the Sports Box. Follow us on Facebook at Sports Box Show, Twitter at Sports Box Show, Instagram at The Sports Box Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our friends at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 points